February 10th, 2025, an ordinary school day in the city of Daejeon, South Korea, turned into a national tragedy. 8-year-old Kim Ha-neul walked into her classroom, never imagining it would be her last day alive. The unthinkable happened. The very person meant to protect and guide her, a teacher, brutally ended her life. The crime shocked the nation, leaving parents terrified, children traumatized, and lawmakers demanding change. This is the heartbreaking story of Kim Ha-neul's murder, a case that still echoes across South Korea. Kim Ha-neul was a bright, cheerful student at an elementary school in Daejeon. Like any child her age, she was full of dreams and curiosity. On the other side stood her teacher, Jae-won, a man in his 40s. Outwardly, he seemed like an ordinary educator, but those who worked alongside him had noticed troubling signs. He had previously taken medical leave due to mental health struggles, including depression. Despite returning to teaching, concerns lingered among colleagues about his behavior and stability. Yet no one could have predicted the violent act that would unfold inside the school's audiovisual room that morning. On February 10th, 2025, during the school day, students gathered in the audio-visual room for a lesson. Suddenly, Jae-won pulled out a knife he had secretly purchased days earlier. In a shocking and brutal act, he repeatedly stabbed Kim Ha-neul. Witnesses say the attack happened so quickly that teachers and students froze in disbelief. Panic erupted as children screamed and fled the room. Staff members rushed to stop the assault, but it was too late. Kim collapsed from multiple stab wounds and could not be saved. Myong himself suffered self-inflicted injuries in the chaos, though not life-threatening. Authorities arrested him on the scene. Investigators soon discovered that this was not a spontaneous act. It had been premeditated. The purchase of the knife, his online search history, and his troubling writings all pointed to a man struggling with deep psychological issues, yet determined to act out violently. South Korea, a country with strict school discipline and deep respect for teachers, was left reeling. Police investigations quickly revealed disturbing facts. Jae-won had a documented history of mental health problems. Colleagues recalled moments where his behavior seemed unstable, and reports suggested he had shown signs of aggression in the past. Yet, despite these warnings, he had been cleared to return to teaching. Authorities confirmed that his attack on Kim Ha-neul was premeditated. He had planned the murder days in advance. As the news spread, parents across South Korea questioned how someone with a record of instability could remain in the classroom. Was this tragedy preventable? Investigators concluded that while there was no evidence of cult involvement or outside influence, the system itself had failed. It had overlooked red flags and left children vulnerable. This case forced the country to look at its schools and ask difficult questions about teacher accountability. The murder of Kim Ha-neul sparked nationwide grief and outrage. Vigils were held across South Korea as parents wept for the innocent girl whose life was cut short. Politicians, educators, and child protection advocates called for urgent reforms. The tragedy led to the proposal of the Ha-neul Act, legislation designed to prevent such incidents from ever happening again. It included stricter mental health evaluations for teachers, better monitoring of school staff behavior, and stronger systems for reporting concerns. While some argued it infringed on privacy, most agreed it was a necessary step to restore trust in schools. For Kim Ha-neul's family, no law could ever bring their daughter back. But her name now symbolizes change, becoming a rallying cry for safer schools and better protection for South Korea's children. The murder of Kim Ha-neul is a story of innocence lost, a reminder that even the safest places can hide unseen dangers. A little girl trusted her teacher, only to fall victim to his darkest impulses. For South Korea, the tragedy is not just about one child. It is about an entire nation forced to re-examine how it protects its young. As the Ha-neul Act moves forward, the hope is that her death will not be in vain, but instead become the catalyst for lasting change.